begins with a sound, the sound of moving water. To a beaver, this is a problem that needs a solution. The solution starts with a single cut into a tree, but this isn't just any bite. A beaver's front incisors are orange for a reason. They are impregnated with iron, making them harder than steel. As they chew, the softer dentin on the back of the tooth wears away faster than the iron-laced enamel on the front. This creates a perpetually sharp, beveled edge. A self-sharpening chisel capable of felling a tree 8 inches thick in under 5 minutes. This isn't just building, it's high-performance biological engineering. Once the dam is built, the most profound change happens. The water slows down. A water molecule that might have passed through a section of stream in an hour might now spend weeks or months in the newly formed pond. This concept is called hydraulic residence time, and beavers are masters of manipulating it. The pond becomes a capacitor for the landscape, storing water and releasing it slowly. This buffers the entire downstream ecosystem against the shocks of sudden flood or creeping drought. The simple act of piling up sticks fundamentally alters the local physics of hydrology, creating a zone of stability in a chaotic world. The calm surface of the pond belies the immense potential energy it now holds back. Beneath that calm surface, an invisible chemical factory starts up. The submerged branches, leaves, and soil are now cut off from oxygen. This allows anaerobic bacteria to thrive, breaking down organic matter differently. In this oxygen-starved environment, they perform a peculiar kind of chemistry. They take the naturally occurring, relatively harmless mercury found in the soil and add a methyl group to it. This creates methylmercury, a potent neurotoxin that can be absorbed by living things. The beaver pond, this engine of biodiversity, inadvertently becomes a hotspot for concentrating a poison that works its way up the food chain. But that dark chemistry also fuels an explosion of life. The decaying slurry on the pond floor becomes the foundation of a new food web. An enormous population of invertebrates, the larvae of mayflies, caddisflies, and dragonflies, thrives on this detritus. This isn't just a few more bugs, it's a massive injection of protein into the ecosystem. This abundance feeds the growing populations of fish and amphibians in the pond. It spills out of the water, feeding bats that hunt over the surface at night and songbirds that snatch insects from the air by day. The Beavers Dam is, in effect, a catering service for the entire valley. The engineering doesn't stop at the water's edge. The pond acts like a leaky bucket, raising the water table in the surrounding land. The soil becomes saturated, pushing out the oxygen. Trees that aren't adapted for wet feet, like many conifers and hardwoods, effectively drown from the roots up, leaving a ghostly ring of dead trunks. In their place, a new community of sedges, willows, and cattails flourishes. This waterlogged, oxygen-poor soil also slows decomposition to a crawl, trapping immense amounts of carbon from the atmosphere and locking it away in the dark mud. Without any intention, the beaver is a powerful climate engineer, building one of the world's most effective carbon sinks. But no single beaver pond is permanent. After a decade or so, the beavers may exhaust their preferred food source, like aspen trees, and move on. The dam, no longer maintained, eventually fails. A storm or spring flood will breach the structure, and the pond drains away, sometimes in a matter of hours. What's left behind is not a wasteland, but a gift. The drained pond bed is a flat, open space filled with meters of nutrient-rich silt accumulated over years. This becomes a beaver meadow, an incredibly fertile patch of land that is quickly colonized by grasses and wildflowers. Over time, the forest returns, until the sound of running water once again attracts a new generation of engineers. The landscape becomes a mosaic of ponds, meadows, and forests, all flickering in and out of existence on a beaver-driven timescale. All this landscape-level transformation, from local climate to the chemistry of the water, is triggered by what? A compulsion. A beaver hears running water and is instinctively driven to make it stop. There is no grand design, no conscious understanding of carbon sequestration or food webs. Is this fundamentally different from our own engineering? We build skyscrapers and massive dams based on complex physics and foresight. But are those just more sophisticated responses to fundamental needs? Shelter, security, control over our environment. When you look at the world a beaver builds, you are forced to ask if consciousness is a requirement for profound architectural change, or simply a detail.
Monotony has grown fast. Nearly 2,700 people have watched in the last few weeks, yet less than 0.03% are subscribed. It would mean a lot if you joined by hitting subscribe. And again, thanks for watching.